Most people are terrified of the concept of hell, but Julie Jahenny chose something far more mysterious. Born on February 12, 1850, in the small town of Blain, France, her life was destined to be a living sacrifice. Our Lord himself revealed the final cross she would bear, marking her 30th year with a vision of her heavenly crown. Yet Julie made a startling request. She did not wish to ascend directly to paradise. Instead, she chose to endure the purifying flames of purgatory on earth to save others. This extraordinary willingness to suffer led to strange, inexplicable illnesses that baffled the doctors of the 19th century. Can we truly comprehend the depth of a spirit so willing to embrace such agony? Every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, she was visited by intense ecstasies, a relentless rhythm of divine communion. These were the beginning of a prophetic mission that would cast a long shadow over the future, perhaps even toward 2026. Her primary mission? To be a lightning rod for sinners. In March 1873, the first physical signs appeared. Luminous rays struck her hands, feet, and side, the ray from his side being twice as wide, like a lance. The pain was immense, yet she accepted it with a serene yes. This was the birth of the Breton Stigmatist. Dr. Gorar, a man of science, watched in shock. He confirmed these were of undeniable supernatural origin. She was heaven's chosen messenger, carrying warnings of impending wars, plagues, and a shaking of the soul of the church. The phenomenon in Blain could not be ignored. Bishop Fournier took immediate action to seek the truth. He commissioned Dr. Aimar Gorar to lead a rigorous medical inquiry, blending faith with science. Together, they observed Julie during her ecstasies, searching for any natural explanation. What they found instead was a terrifying beauty. Her wounds bled in a rhythmic pattern, coinciding with the Passion. Bishop Fournier was moved. He issued a declaration. Everything about her was undeniably supernatural. He saw in her a rare victim soul, chosen to publish the glory of the cross. This was a period of grace and protection, allowing Julie to fulfill her mission without hindrance. She wasn't just predicting the future, she was revealing the why behind the coming trials. Heaven explained her suffering as a spiritual relay race, following the work of the Sacred Heart. She was shown 30 bouquets of flowers, each representing a year of her dedicated life. The most perfect bouquet was placed upon the heart of Jesus, symbolizing her earthly journey's culmination. But this favor came with a warning. She was a lightning rod, shielding France from divine wrath. However, our Lord revealed that many hearts remained closed, even as she bore their agony. This mission of love was about to face its greatest test. The protective shield was about to crack. As the 1870s drew to a close, a shadow named Bishop Laco was waiting in the wings. The death of Bishop Fournier in 1877 was a mortal blow to the peace in Blain. The new authority, Bishop Laco, did not share his conviction. Where Fournier saw a saint, Laco saw a threat. Within a month, an order was issued. Julie was to be deprived of the sacraments. For a soul whose very life was centered on the Eucharist, this was a sentence of slow starvation. Bishop Laco remained stubbornly unmoved, even when presented with the meticulous records of Dr. Gorar. His scientific evidence fell on deaf ears. For 11 long years, the doors of the church were closed. Yet heaven would not be barred. During this period of isolation, the miraculous communions began. Witnesses watched in awe as the host appeared supernaturally. If the world would not give her bread, the angels would. Marie Julie's response was a masterclass in humility. She never whispered a word of complaint against the bishop. She spent these years in a hidden martyrdom, her cottage becoming a sanctuary of silent obedience. The persecution finally caught the attention of the Vatican. In 1888, Pope Leo XIII ordered an inquiry. He entrusted the matter to the Reverend Fair Vanelli, who arrived to peel back the layers of prejudice. The investigation revealed the truth. Marie Julie had been unjustly treated by her own shepherds. By order of the Holy See, the ban was lifted. The prisoner of Blain was finally allowed to return. But the scars of those 11 years had prepared her for an even darker battle. The devil was coming. With the protection of the church restored, the spiritual war didn't end. It intensified. The attacks were brutal. Her body was covered in cuts that, miraculously, never became infected. The devil's malice targeted her most sacred objects. He would hurl her rosaries and shatter her crucifix. When violence failed, he appeared as a beautiful young man, whispering promises of wealth and a cure. But Marie Julie was vigilant. She demanded he make an act of love to the Sacred Heart. He hissed and vanished. He even wore the skin of a priest, attempting to offer her a blasphemous host. But she noticed the subtle flaws, the missing cross, the lack of a halo's rays. The enemy forced stomach-turning objects into her mouth to prevent her from praying. On one occasion, her mouth was supernaturally clamped shut, preventing her from Holy Communion. It opened only when her director, Father David, performed the rite of exorcism over her. Through these years of terror, she remained unyielding, seeing it all as a means of sacrifice. Finally, in a moment of desperate darkness, Saint Michael the Archangel descended. He reclaimed the sacred objects stolen by the enemy and granted her a hard-won peace. But this peace was only a horizon line. Beyond it lay the most shocking part of her mission. The unveiling of the future of France and the world was about to begin. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, Marie Julie's visions focused on the heart of her nation. Heaven described the Chamber of Deputies with a chilling title, the Chamber of Hell. She saw this place as a breeding ground for laws that would dismantle the Christian foundations of France. She foretold the rise of republics that would prioritize secularism over the sacred, attacking the church. These were not mere political changes. They were described as a spiritual rejection of a divine mission. Marie Julie saw secret societies working in the shadows to erode the faith of the common people. The imagery was vivid, a dark tide rising from the Seine, swallowing the crosses of Paris. We are reminded of the 2024 Paris Olympics, a moment many saw as a chilling echo of her warnings. The ceremonies featured headless figures and broken wings, blatant offenses paraded before the world. Because France had been granted the greatest graces, its failure would trigger the first strikes of justice. This anti-God sentiment would not remain within borders. It was a spiritual contagion spreading outward. Our Lord granted humanity a period of grace for conversion before the terrors would strike. But Marie Julie whispered that this window would not stay open forever. The time is drawing to a close. For a world looking toward years like 2026, her visions serve as a stark, historical warning. When a nation forgets its God, the earth itself begins to tremble, and the harvest is coming. The spiritual contagion Marie-Julie witnessed wasn't just about politics. It was a war for the future. Our Lady appeared with profound sorrow, lamenting that all is engaged in an irreparable loss. She grieved over a world where parents neglect their duty, immersing children in adult matters. Marie-Julie saw a future where children were prepared for hell before reaching the age of reason. This wasn't just a 19th century concern, it was a blueprint for a modern crisis. The breakdown of the family unit was, to her, the surest sign that chastisements were near. She spoke of rapidly spreading plagues that would steal breath and leave the land desolate. Crop failures and hurricanes of unprecedented power would shake human security. France bore the heaviest guilt because it had been granted the most light. Once the fires of purification were lit in Paris and Marseille, the wave would be inescapable. The punishment would spread across the globe like a spiritual contagion. Without this profound cleansing, the earth itself would be eternally lost to sin. The harvest was no longer just a metaphor, it was a global necessity. Humanity would feel the impending effect of God's justice deep within their hearts. And the darkness was now only a few steps away. The 3 days were coming. The climax is a vision that has haunted the faithful for a century. The 3 days of darkness. A thick, hellish fog would envelop the earth. No artificial light, electricity or fire would work. Only blessed wax candles, she warned, would burn in the homes of the faithful. The earth would tremble with earthquakes, leaving 3/4 of the population to perish. But heaven did not leave the faithful without a shield, the purple scapular of benediction. This sacramental was intended to be a lightning rod of grace during times of plague and famine. She described a literal red downpour lasting 7 weeks, the terrifying sign of the tribulation. Homes with the scapular would be protected from the rain and the dark entities roaming the earth. People would become as scarce as smoke. One might travel for days without seeing another soul. She lived to witness the beginning, the dark clouds of World War II, before her death in 1941. The world seemed to slip into an abyss of murder, violence, and blasphemy, just as she saw. She emphasized that this was not the end of the world, but the end of an era, a purification. Without this profound cleansing, the earth would be eternally lost to sin. It was a global necessity. For those faithful hidden behind closed doors, with their blessed candles, the darkness was birth pangs. The darkness was leading to a new, radiant world. The dawn of the restoration was at hand. As the rain of blood ceases and the fog finally lifts, a new dawn breaks over a purified earth. From the ruins of the old world, a holy king would rise, a guardian of the spirit. He would establish a divine reign spanning the entire globe, leading humanity back to its senses. The complex noise of the secular age would be replaced by a return to simplicity and true faith. Marie-Julie saw barriers between denominations disappear, all uniting under the single banner of God. This era would see the church triumphant in radiant glory, the earth once again a garden of grace. Parents would return to their sacred duty, raising children in the light of virtue and love. The chamber of hell would be a distant memory, replaced by a society that recognizes the divine. As we look toward the threshold of the future, perhaps even toward 2026, her life stands as a beacon. Her stigmata and her visions were a warning. While the storm is inevitable, the dawn is guaranteed. She was the victim of the cross, a lightning rod of love who chose to suffer so that we might change. In the end, her message is not one of fear, but of an unquenchable thirst for the divine. The cross is not just a sign of suffering, it is the eternal pledge of union. It is the key to a world reborn. Are you ready for the dawn?